Hello, everybody. All right, so my game was very exciting, and I felt during the game that I was doing well, and then I wasn't, and then I was, and then I wasn't, and then he blundered. Some of that was true. I was never winning until he blundered, and he was winning in two or three positions, like +4, +5, +6. And when I had the advantage, it was like zero point 0.5. The engine said, or the caps thing said I played 92 and he played about 91. So it wasn't a good game, mainly due to time trouble. Uh, yeah. Casper VLD subscribed. Hooray. And so forth. All right. All right. So here's my game. My opponent's 2,200 plus tax from Oregon. He's lived in several states. Now he's the president of the Oregon Chess Association, I think. So I spent my time preparing for C4 because I think he only plays C4. So now I was out of my prep. And in this position, I normally play the Slav. And I thought he might exchange, and then it's hard to win. So I just played here. If he plays G3, that's my prep for Eckert. And he played here, so now I'm just on my own. But okay, I played a way where I could try to win the semi-Slav. And in this position, the Super GMs played B6, which I found out after the game. I played here, which is basically a favorite of Shirov. Not bad. He played Bishop B2, which is the most common. Surprised me. Okay, and the engine likes white because the engine never likes this bishop and the stonewall kind of setup. G3 is a very strange move. It's never been played by anybody good before. And I sort of went too far punishing it. I should have just played like B6, Bishop B7, and black's equal. But I went crazy like Fox News because, why not? So here I should just play like B6, Bishop B7, and it's equal. But, Queen F6, Queen F6 is okay. Queen C2, and then I went for it. I was thinking of you guys when I played so ultra sharp and aggressive. He played A4. He wants to play Bishop A3 and trade off my nice bishop. So one of the problems with trying to save my bishop, for example, Rook F7, bishop here, and the bishop retreats, is if I go here, he can take, and my bishop's not defended. And if I go here, this bishop's not defended. Same thing. So I can't play Rook F7 and retreat my bishop and save my bishop. So I just played H5, put it in H. H5's okay. 200 sentences from trying to learn. Yeah. Well, yeah, welcome to the Terror Dome, they repeat. I'm talking about, the song, not the name of the song. They say that a few times. But yeah, usually things repeat a lot. For example, most of you don't know this, and you're not going to believe me, and you're going to look it up and be like, what? The song Lagrange by ZZ Top, there's like 40 seconds of lyrics and then like 4 minutes of, guitar. The song begins and then it just stops and they play 4 minutes of guitar solos and the song ends. It's a very strange song because usually you sing and then there's like there's a guitar and then the song ends. So they sing a little bit, not too much. Then there's just a huge guitars and that's it. Very strange. You don't see songs like that too often. The guitar part at the end is way longer than the singing. Way longer. Yeah. Yeah, everyone had a solo. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that song's great. R.I.P. the guy who died. Um, 1,000 Sentences, Wolfgang only. Yeah. There's something wrong with my internet here? Man, that's a lot of drop frames. God damn. Yeah, I'm in like the hotel, internet, so sorry. Is this even the right internet? Yeah. All right. Well, it's the hotel internet. There's nothing I can do. It's either good or it's bad. Okay, let's get back to the game since losing my internet here, and my religion. Okay, he played H4, which is not the best move, and I thought it was a bit crazy, but the engine says it's fine. I thought a long time about whether to take this or play G4, or to take this and then play here in G4, and the engine says G4 is terrible. So I played here, and the engine wants him to take this, but he took this first. And then I had a long think about which way to take, and D takes is terrible because, I was afraid it would open up this later, so I took with F pawn. You want to take with the D pawn generally so you can get F4 in later, but not here. Okay, now this was an important point in the game, right here. By the way, I fought forever on every move, so I got in time trouble pretty early. Luckily, my opponent got into time trouble at some point, and then he played bad. Yeah. No, there's a lot of drop frames. It's true. Okay, so there's two moves he wants to play: F4 and Bishop A3. And I'm trying to figure out which one to stop because I can't stop them both. So let's say I play Rook F7. So if he goes here, I can just go here, keep my bishop. Well, I was afraid he'd play F4, and I can't really take it. Taking it is actually not great because, he can always trade queens. My bishop's no good. My rook's no good. His other rook can come over. My king is getting exposed. It's actually bad. And then if I don't take, these pieces are dead and he can just defend his G pawn. The engine says it's about equal. And I decided to stop F4, which my good engine says is correct. I played here. That actually is the recommended move by the strong engine. So you can't play F4 because I take. Okay. Now if it's my move, I'm going to move my rook so he can't trade bishops, but he played bishop A3. I thought about playing C5, which is horrible. So good thing I didn't. Okay, then I played knight F6. And the engine still likes white a little bit, but says it's like, it should be a draw. It's equal. Okay, he played rook A2 for defensive purposes, which surprised me. Then he played A5 to get play, but I want to get my pieces active. Now he started playing inaccurately. Queen D1's not great. And then King H2 is good. And Queen E1's not great. Okay, so far, we've both played very well. I've played better than him because, Queen C2 to D1 to E1, then Rook A3 to A2, and A4, A5, and then he didn't do anything, just moving around. And obviously, I'm improving. My pieces are better than they were 5 moves ago. And here, I thought I was close to winning, and I only have one move that gives me an advantage. And the second best move is very funny. Let's see, it's true. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so the funniest thing in this position isn't what the best move is. The funniest thing is what the second best move is. The second best move is Bishop C8. And then I defend my pawns, I defend A6, and I don't give anything away. Not a move I would ever consider. Best move is e5, which I did consider, and I thought my move was better. And I was getting low on time, so I had to just move. Maybe if I thought for 20 minutes, I would have played e5. And after this, black's obviously better. And I played knight g4 check because I misunderstood what was happening. After takes, see, when his queen was on d1, I don't want to play knight here because he takes, pawn takes, blocks it up, and queen takes trades queens. So once I had the opportunity, I was like, all right. And then I thought I would just win by playing like e5, rook here, and, come in and win. Yeah. There's even some cute checkmates. Like if you could imagine e5, rook f3, queen h4, rook h3 mate. Okay, he played rook h1, which is excellent, which I didn't see. That's a really strong move. Thing is, he wants to put his rook on h1 and move his king, but I didn't see him playing rook h1 first because I'm dumb. If he moves his king, I take the knight because the g-pawn's pinned. So rook h1 is an excellent move. Now, I'm in time trouble here, and there's no escape. It's just an increment. I have less than 5 minutes here. So I'm just moving because I don't want to lose on time. And he had like 10, 15 minutes. Eventually, he got down to my time, and then they didn't play well. Okay, I played e5, which is a mistake. Because, I'm playing super aggressive, because I figured that's how you have to play here. I didn't sacrifice any material, so I don't have to play aggressive. Okay, he took. And now the engine really hates my next move a lot. I played here, and the engine's furious. And the idea is, at some point, I want to get my bishop active, and if the c-pawn is gone, I want to play like d4, bishop d5, e3, and just sack everything. Which is all ridiculous, but, Okay, he played c5, which isn't good, but he actually thought a long time about it. Well, hopefully Karen ordered something. Otherwise, somebody broke it in my account. I'm going to guess. Yeah. Karen ordered something. What happened? 12th doc subscribed. Good. All right. Hooray for everybody. Okay. So here I made just all bad moves. And the bad moves are what won the game for me. And that's my friend Wes Berger talking. He says I made good bad moves. So I played rook f3, which is just awful. And, I'm threatening queen takes knight and rook h3 mate. And I thought if he took, I had all kinds of counterplay. And probably practically I do, but the engine just says I'm dead lost. So one of the problems is, I'm not even sure which way to take. But let's say I take with the pawn to play h4 or something. Now, I'm threatening mate, so he has to go here. And the big issue here is that, which I saw, is that white has rook a4. And I can't, if he plays rook a4, what do I do? And the engine just says I'm lost here. It says I have nothing. I thought like bishop here, h4, I got some big attack going, and the engine just says I'm dead. The other way to take is queen takes. And one of the ideas is, even if we trade queens, I can stick my bishop on f3, and his rook's no good, this pawn's hanging. But yeah, the engine's like, no, you're just lost. Yeah, it says like every move wins for white, king g1, queen d1. So he could just take the rook. Obviously, he's getting low on time too, so he probably trusted me a little that taking was too dangerous. I must have thought it was too dangerous if I played it, and he's like, yeah, all right, I don't want to get mated. My knight's a pretty good defender. So he played king g1, which stops my threat of here in mate. And Now I played another bad move, continuing with my attack. The engine's like, move your rook away before he takes it. But I played d4. So I'm playing exciting chess for you guys. So the more you donate, the more exciting. Yeah. And so forth. All right, and knight takes is just completely winning, it says. Like, I'm just dead lost. So here's what the big issue is, and this happened later. In this position, okay, if I play e3, which I could have done this in the game later, he takes, and if I take, he takes this and plays rook g2. Luckily, I saw that, So yeah, I mean, just taking wins. Okay. But he played this, and now I thought I was winning, but I'm like equal now. And I made a very bad move here. It wants me to play rook here, and I played this, and now it says like I'm lost again, which is hard for me to believe. During the game, I thought I was doing great. Trapped and attack, and pawns are weak, and back rank, and knights on the side. But yeah, it just says I'm lost. He played the best move, and I made another bad move, bishop d5, and he played perfect move, knight g2. And here I made a very bad move. My position's bad. I played rook d3, and when I played rook d3, I was like, I have to have a better move than that, but I can't find it because I had no time on my clock. But yeah, now white can just play rook h4. And, he's blockading on the dark squares. He's up a pawn. My bishop is blocked. So this is just bad for me. But he played rook d2, which is a very bad move. Now I'm fine. I should play queen g5, but I played here. Now I'm worse again. Now, of course, without engines and in time trouble, you definitely want to have black here. Because, if white makes a mistake, the game's over. I've already made mistakes, and they didn't matter because finding the refutation is difficult. He played knight e3, which was best. Good move. He doesn't want me to play e3 and checkmate him. And this is very funny. I expected knight e3, and I only had 2 minutes on my clock, or a minute and a half, so I moved instantly. And it's the engine move. If you're not using an engine, which you are if you answer correctly, if you're not using an engine, what do you think? Well, I didn't know the pairings were up, damn. If you're not using an engine, what's the best move here for black? The stream's always dying. The internet's iffy here. Sorry. I've dropped 74,000 frames. God damn. Usually I drop 0, but it's wireless nonsense. Yeah, I played this move very quickly. That must have rattled him. Yeah. Always refresh. Rinse and repeat. I refreshed. Yeah. Okay, so I played the engine move. Arsenal Fenrique is close. Yeah, I played king f7, which is better than king f8 slightly. It's close. Yeah. I mean, I want my king to go to e6, and if we ever trade all the pieces off, I want my king to be good. Yeah, so the problem is if I do this, then he's winning. My king's on f7, then I'm winning. So I played here, and he didn't see it. So he's still better here. He should play rook h4. He's not threatening check because I can take it, but he's just better because he's a pawn up and I can't do anything. This is isolated. This is isolated. That's a great knight. I can't activate my bishop. So after moving his rook somewhere, he's better, but he missed my threat. Now, he was getting in time trouble also. He had less than 3 minutes. So he played queen e2, which is a blunder. And now this move works. So if you take, I take, and yeah, up a piece. If you take with the pawn, now it's not check, so black's just completely winning. And he took with the queen, which is the other move. He knew he was lost after I took. He like shook his head and thought for 3 minutes, like until his time ran out almost. He can't play king h2 because I can mate him on g2 either way. If he plays king f1, I take his rook and take his queen and so forth. Yeah. Now here, obviously, I can check and e3 check and take and win. But I just move my king because I'm threatening check and e3 check. I mean, queen takes d4. Yeah, so he resigned here. If he plays this, I check. And then if he plays here, he gets mated. And if he plays king g2, he also is in big trouble, also getting mated. This is the engine move, because now if I go check, check, take, he can win my queen, but I can just take this. And, yeah, this is just silly. So after king g7, he resigned. A very suspicious game. But it was exciting. And playing it, there were positions where I thought I was better, but I was not. Which is the story of my life when I'm attacking. I always think I have a good attack, and I never do. Yeah. How did Ben take his knight there? With the rook. Rooks move sideways. Yeah. Yeah, he played here, and I took his knight. Yeah, his pawn's overworked. So if he takes with the queen, which he did, his pawn's defending this and his queen. So, then he's losing. Yeah, I couldn't do it last move because then he has rook g2 at the end, pinning my queen. That's one of the reasons I played here. The other is, if we ever trade pieces and go to an ending, his king's no good and my king's good. If he takes this or somehow trades queens, I want my king up here. So I played king f7 really quickly, which probably shocked him because we're in time trouble, and he's like, what? And then he dismissed my threat because, see where it takes e3. Truth hurts. No, the game was, I don't enjoy it. It's too hard. Yeah, everything's too hard. Well, I mean, we were both just choking on our own rage because it was too complicated. We were in time trouble. Yeah, I have 3 out of 4. And let me look at the pairings. No. Pairings. Yeah, Doug Eckert has 3.5 out of 4. I have funny news, guys. The top 3 boards are on DGT, and you can watch live, and I'm on board 4. So board 1 is, nobody has 4 out of 4. There's 3 players with 3.5. Tengshur and Enkbot is playing Eckert on board 1. Spiziak is playing Kamelnitsky. Kamelnitsky has 3.5. Spiziak has 3. Elliot Winslow is playing Doug Root. Those are the 3 games you can look at. I'm playing Alexander Matros on board 4. He's 2,400 IM. And then Fedorowicz is playing Mark Ginsburg on 5. And Michael Koganov, who's 2,200, also has 3 out of 4. So I'm tied for 4th. And 3 people have 3.5. 2 IMs and an FM. 2 Ds and an F. Yeah. So I got to start preparing. No.